Hey, this is Ed Baldwin with the Nail It podcast. We have a very special guest today. We have Tina with Haas. She's the marketing director, and they are one of the leading manufacturers of garage doors here in America. We've got some cool information for you. Let's get started. Hey, Tina, what would you say is the value of a storm-rated garage door, and how have they improved over the years?
Well, that's an excellent question. Garage doors have improved over the years because they've gotten much more stronger and more resilient. Plus, the options, the materials, the aesthetics on the garage doors have gotten better. But what we just recently and Haas is helping to promote is that in high wind events, hurricanes, tornadoes, or just high winds, they can protect the home. So a wind-rated garage door will protect the home. And if that garage door remains intact, 90% of the homes involved in that storm will keep their roof and walls. And that's because when the garage door fails, that high pressure comes in and starts forcing out and up on the walls. So that's a huge advantage. And over the years, we've seen recorded incidents where the garage doors really helped keep that home intact. And so the pressures in codes have been getting stronger. And that is why the garage doors are much more reinforced. Another portion of that, because what the wind rated is really due to the track and how the garage door is kept within the opening of the home. So the other aspect of it is that the materials themselves have gotten better, where we've started with wood, then went to fiberglass, and now it's steel and aluminum. So we have these low maintenance, very strong materials. And then they're also insulated now when they weren't before, which brings on a good insulation factor. So the garage doors have gotten much more robust and be able to help the home. And they've just gotten more beautiful. Over the years, it used to be that garage doors were just a white door with what we call an 80 stamp. You guys would call it a recessed stamp. So just a standard raised stamp, and that's it. Now we have windows. We're able to put windows wherever you want them. They can be impact rated windows. You can have any kind of color or wood grain that you prefer. So it really augments the look of your home.
Awesome. So what beyond the strengthening of the home with a new garage door, what would you say are you seeing if someone invests in a new garage door that might do to the value of their home?
That's wonderful because, yes, right now, and it's been historically over like the last 7 years that I've been monitoring it with Haas Door, is they've always been the leader or second in place on the return on investment study that Zonda does for cost versus value on remodeling. So this year, the return on investment is 268%. So that means if you're investing $1,000 in your garage door, you're going to get $2,680 on the value of your home. So it really is about increasing that beauty and the performance of the economy on your home. So protecting your home, walls and roof, but also how are you keeping your home protected thermally, and how are you just having it a good environment for your family?
Awesome. So that sounds great. So let's say a homeowner says, "Hey, I want to take a next step, right? I want to look at replacing my garage door." What would you recommend to them as far as their next steps to find the right garage door, and then how to buy it and how to get an installer to put it in? What would you recommend?
So what I would recommend, and what we found in our studies, is that the consumer is always going to look at how does this aesthetically fit their home. And that's wonderful because most manufacturers, including Haas Door, has a visualization tool. Ours is called Haas Create, which you can find right linked on our website at haasdoor.com. And you can go in there, upload a picture of your home, and then I call it try on different garage doors, because you're going to want to look at the color you're looking for, the style. And those are the number 1 and 2 drivers of the selection process. Then we'll look at the wind rated and the efficiency you need. So once you go on there and you look at what looks good on my house? Because again, that ROI is all about the increased curb appeal. It's the biggest area on your home. And you can, and a lot of people don't know this for a garage door though, putting lights across the top or in one section is very common. But usually, if you're keeping the same number of lights, it doesn't cost any difference to put them in different places. We call that Haas or select view. So if you want 4 windows, you can put them wherever you want in that garage door, depending on what you're getting, like what style of window, how big it is. So that can be something that people assume is an extra cost, but it's not. And often white and the other colors are the same price. So you can actually pick a solid color that corresponds, or pick a color that really makes that garage door pop off your home and make it a showcase that really drives that curb appeal and that return on investment. So once you do that, then in our tool, which is a little different than some of the other tools available, you can actually go on our tool and find a Haas door dealer near you in the tool. Now, this is where the value is being added, because we want you to go to an independent garage door dealer, not to other retail sources, because the actual garage door dealer adds a lot of value, especially when it comes to a wind rated garage door. So what they will do is you send your idea to them or what you're looking for. They can quote that for you, send it back. And then what they'll do is they'll come out to your home and they'll look at the surround that you have available and see if they need to beef it up any. Do they need to add some wood for braces on the operator? They'll also give ideas that you don't think about, because when I installed my new garage door, I was like, oh yes, I want this gray wood with these lights and frosted glass so no one can look in. And the installer came out and he was like, well, if you want a higher track, that will open up that space and actually give you more headroom. And I'm like, yes, do that. And he's like, and you want that frosted glass so people can't look in? And I'm like, yes, do that. So it just seemed like they had a lot of expertise that changed the experience from being something that was great, I was looking forward to actually better than what I thought, because that brought us more value. The other thing that a lot of people don't know is when you're looking at updating your house or looking at that curb appeal and that ROI, and a garage door is just such a great fit for that, because the installer comes out, takes your old door down in one day and puts the new one up in the same day. So instead of like windows or siding or something like that, where there is a product all around your house for days at a time, the investment is so small, but they come out and do it in one day. And if you don't have the funds to replace your roof or replace, to open up your walls and put tie downs in to help against the high wind, the garage door is your best option, because they don't have to tear any of that open. It installs on a retrofit the same way it installs on a new construction. So you can get that improvement at any phase of how long you've been in your home.
Excellent. So, all right, I heard that it obviously is going to look better, it's going to perform better, it's going to increase the value. All those are good things. I briefly heard you mention something about insulation factor. Can you explain what insulation factor is and how is that an additional benefit amongst the other things we've already discussed?
Yes. Insulation factor, or we are using U factor, and a lot of people are familiar with U factor due to windows. What it is the U factor actually measures the amount of heat loss through the entire garage door. A lot of people know R value, but R value is really the insulation value, or how much well it insulates, where U factor is measuring the heat loss through the door. And that's what end consumers are really interested in. And we always get, well, in Florida, how interested would I be? Well, where I live in Ohio, it's cold. So, in the winter, with my old garage door, I had a 1-inch garage door on my home, 1 inch thick, and the average temperature in my garage was about 35 degrees Fahrenheit. When I switched to a 2-inch garage door that Haas offers with a bulb seal, that temperature went up to 55, 65 degrees in winter. Now take that story and inverse it. So if you're trying to cool your home in Florida, think about how much heat is coming in, because it always travels from the hot to the cold side. How much heat is leaking into your home through the garage door, especially if you have a pan door, and a pan door is a non-insulated garage door. So it is a great opportunity, because in my experience, in that example I gave, my office above the garage door, I no longer had to struggle to heat because it was the bonus room. So now I have a little cute fireplace that I could just use, that electric one, instead of having these space heaters that we're trying to help keep it. So I'm in reverse, it would be very similar. How hard are you working with your money and energy to cool your spaces that are related or next to your garage? So that was a good point.
Yep. Tina, thank you so much for your time today and sharing this great information with us about garage doors. And a huge reminder to those that are considering applying for a grant with My State Florida Home, we have grants available. Apply today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.